Okay, guys, we are now finally live. So, without further ado, I would like to welcome all of you who are joining us for this beautiful pitch day on day 7 of our Ivy Early Entrepreneur Program by the Big Red Group. I would love to quickly take a minute to just tell you as to what these students have done in
Okay, guys, we are now finally live. So, without further ado,
I'm just going to make sure
I would like to welcome all of you.
Okay, sorry. I told everyone to switch off and put it on mute, and I myself was the one who forgot to do that. So apologize on that bit. So what I would first like to do is, of course, just quickly tell all of you as to what we did in the past 7 days, in the past 6 days, really, and what has culminated to the pitch day and all the beautiful presentations that all the parents and everyone who's joining us will be watching today. So this program has been broken into 6 different themes, and every day there's a special theme that the students sort of learn about. The first day is on ideation. The second day is on market research. Day 3 is on social entrepreneurship. Day 4 is on design thinking. Day 5 is on financial modeling and pitching, and day 6 is on marketing. Throughout the course of the week, we gave 25 broad problem sets for these young kids to think about. The problem sets could vary from how do you make lives of pet owners better? How do you make fashion more sustainable? How do you just make the world a better place to live in? So, of course, all of these students could choose from these 25 problem statements, or through the course of the week, sort of make their own problem statements that really frustrates these young kids, and then finally present a business project to all of you guys here, which contains the marketing strategies, the revenue streams, and of course, what is the central idea and the problem that they're trying to solve. So I'm really excited to welcome all of you here to listen to these young kids who have come from more than 30 cities across the country. Before we move further, I would love to welcome our 2 panelists and one of our speakers here. First, I would like to introduce Namita Mehta, who's the president of the Red Pen, and Shoki Malik, who's also the founder of Growth and We Bees. So before we start with Shoki, Namita, over to you for your words. We would love to hear about your journey as an entrepreneur, and then we move over to Shoki and then the presentation. Over to you, Namita.
Thank you so much, Rishi, for this opportunity, and lovely to meet all of you, and excited to hear about all the projects and ideas that you've come up with over the last 1 week. I just want to say thank you again to Rishi. Let me quickly tell you a little bit about my entrepreneurial journey. So let me quickly introduce the company first. I'm part of the senior management team of the Red Pen, which is an independent education consulting firm. We help students across all rungs of the educational ladder. So whether it's helping students find day or boarding schools, helping them develop their profiles, undergrad admissions, postgrad admissions, MBA admissions, to even institutional support, where we work directly with schools in India and internationally to help them really get college and career counseling really strong in their schools. So that is, in a nutshell, what the Red Pen does. I don't want to spend too much time talking about that, but more about the journey. So what happened is I actually chanced upon entrepreneurship. I, in fact, have a degree in molecular and cellular biochemistry from the University of Oxford. And I tried to pursue science after I graduated, and realized that I was very much a people's person, that I didn't want to be stuck in a lab doing tests, working with pipettes. I didn't want to do that. And I decided quite early on that I wasn't going to go pursue a PhD and go into research. So because of my educational background, I grew up in Hong Kong. I went to a German school, ended up at a British boarding school, and then was at Oxford. A couple of principals of schools across the country would kind of invite me to speak in school and be like, talk about my educational journey, how I reached where I did. And that's kind of where the initial interest in education started. I started off, in fact, by working in an IB school for 3.5 years. And that's kind of where I gained immense experience. It was fantastic, working with students from grade 8 all the way to grade 12, helping them kind of think about the college process. The school invested in my personal growth, so I was able to attend conferences, meet admissions officers, really learned tremendously in those 3.5 years. And then I took some time off because I had 2 kids, 2 under 2, and it was just too much for me to be in a school setting with those fixed timings. So that's kind of when I approached the Red Pen, and I started by doing consulting work for them. And long story short, every year I would kind of increase my responsibilities. And here we are now. And I ended up buying equity partnership into the company about 6 years ago. And now it's Kim Dixit and I who run the firm. So I'll tell you something. I remember literally we were in like a 150 square foot office when we first started, and we had a secretary who literally lived like the building next to us. Okay, and when we had clients come in, we would literally say, Bhavna, you go home. There's not enough space in this office. We'll finish the meeting and we'll call you back. So we literally started off like that, and we've grown. We've had we invested in a larger office, and then an even larger one before we kind of had to stop before lockdown. And now we're kind of working online, and it's a completely different experience in the virtual world now. But I've seen the company grow, and I've seen myself grow. And I just want to tell you 3 things that I really value in my entrepreneurial journey. And if any of you decide to kind of take on whatever you started in this week on further, to keep that in mind if you want to be an entrepreneur. And I'm sure many of you will be successful entrepreneurs in the future as well. So one of the things that I want to talk about is commitment and grit. Okay, you have to stay true to what you decided that you wanted to do, whether you've created a product or whether it's a service. Stay true to it, because there's so many opportunities for you to kind of the line to become fuzzy. Like, I'll give you an example. I'm very much in the services industry. We work one-on-one with families to help them through this educational journey, help them find their best fit institution. And right now, ed tech is so hot. Everybody's talking about that. How do we kind of scale this whole experience? But if I'm staying true to what I'm doing, it's in fact a services business, which is very different from scaling and replacing what I do with a technology item. Yes, Kim and I certainly believe in using technology to help us make the process better, but we still very much value that human element. So staying true, the commitment to what you believe in, and then the grit. Okay, so that's one thing that I wanted to discuss with you guys. Second is, as an entrepreneur, there's constant learning. In fact, that's the best thing about being an entrepreneur for me. I don't know what I'm going to learn the next day. I spend about half an hour every day reading about the industry, reading about new things that are coming up. And I think that's like the biggest advice I can give you, that be open-minded. And it's okay if you don't know something. The point is that you have to learn and be open to learning. Okay, this educational landscape, as you can see, has completely gone upside down in the last 1 year, right? With virtual schools, campuses not opening, online learning, COVID has really kind of shaken it up. So I spend a lot of time, reading, understanding what's new, what's happening in India, the new liberal arts colleges that have come out. Why are those not options? Why are they not on students' lists at the moment? So connecting with people and really, really learning, and constant learning is something that I would advise. And the last thing, I do want to say this because it's, again, something that I've learned in my entrepreneurial journey, is the importance of delegation. Okay, when we first started, Kim and I did everything. Kim, Kavita, and I, we were responsible for marketing. We were responsible for client servicing. We were responsible for the admin. We were responsible for hiring. And I mean, I can see Rishi smiling because I'm sure he knows what I'm talking about. But once we started delegating out things, it was just such a, it was a feeling of really kind of growth, right? Because if I am doing something that I'm not an expert at, right? Like, I'm not an expert at recruiting people, at HR. That's not my expertise. I'm not a marketing expert. In fact, I don't know much about SEO optimization and how to Instagram and all this stuff. I'm learning. But if I hire someone who is an expert in that particular space, the growth of my company and the growth of what I want to do, which is inherently, bringing educational options to students and making sure that that information is available to everyone, is a lot more, focused, and I'm really able to kind of do what I want and kind of delegate the other parts of the entrepreneurial journey out. Okay, so I'm just going to leave you with with 3 pieces of advice. One, like I said, is constant learning. Second is delegation. And third is just having that commitment and grit. And I wish you all the very best as you pitch your experiences to us. And I am looking forward to hearing these stories. And thank you, Rishi, for this opportunity.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Namita, once again. And now I'm going to turn the spotlight to Shoki Malik. the founder of VBeats, again, one of the best storytellers that I've met in my life. So Shoki, a couple of pointers from your side to these young students before they start with their presentations.
Thank you, Rishi. Namita pretty much summed it up beautifully. I think I was, whenever she was putting a point, I'm like, oh, this was my point, you know? So more or less, I'll quickly sum it up just to give you guys a little more, you know, a different perspective to understand what when we say entrepreneurs, what it takes. As Namita rightly said, grit is, I mean, I feel grit is the only thing that you need. Be consistent. I give this example to a lot of people. When you go back to your early days, when you learned A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, the reason you could learn your A, B, C, D so very well that you don't really have to think it's your muscle memory is because you have repeated that task a gazillion times. Anything that you do consistently, just do that and have that faith. Just keep doing it. It will work out for you. No matter how good, bad, intelligent, not intelligent person you are, whatever you've called, whatever you have understood about yourself, leave that aside. How you learned A, B, C, D, just learn whatever you want to learn, repeat that again and again and again. Do not look at, oh, I've learned it. If you learned it, repeat it again. I think that's that. I would just want to sum it up. Just repetition. Great. When you say great, you just are stuck with that one particular thought, and you are on that thought forever. And anything that you dream of, you want to be a bloody rocket scientist, you will become a rocket scientist. Whatever you want to do, just keep doing. Be at it. My journey was pretty interesting. I come from a village. If I can go back, my father moved out of the village, sort of a space, and he wanted to challenge the status quo. So he moved out, joined the armed forces, and gave us good education. And he had this thought that the only thing that can change is when you really pay attention to whatever you're doing. And I think education plays a very important role in shaping this whole gamut. So we got lucky that moved out. I was the first-time entrepreneur in my entire family. We were a service class of farmers. So starting an entrepreneurial journey, everybody had questions that we haven't seen a single entrepreneur from our family. Like, how the hell will you cope up? And I also didn't know because they were questioning me and I was questioning myself. So after a point, you just tell yourself, let's give it a shot. Again, great. Just keep repeating what you have. Just keep repeating it. And I exactly did. It's been 12 good years. I started my first agency. Before that, I was heading an e-commerce company. Before that, I was working with Hewlett-Packard computers. So I had service class, understood what is the temperament that you really have to have for being an entrepreneur. And then I made a gazillion mistakes. I mean, trust me, just yesterday, I made another blunder. But this is after 12 years. So, you will make mistakes. You're bound to make mistakes. Don't worry about that. Just move on. Just keep moving. So, and thank you. This is my second time I'm sitting on this panel. I'm so excited. Last time was a great experience, Rishi. I think I'm looking forward to this great conversation. I mean, it connects me back to my early days where I could, create some ideas and, look at, oh, can I pursue this idea? So yeah, looking forward to it. Good luck, guys.
Perfect. Okay, thank you, Namita. Again, I think Namita, when you were also talking, I think I couldn't have summed it up better. So thank you for stealing. I think my thoughts and Shoki's thoughts. But thank you to both Namita and Shoki. Without further ado, I think we're doing great on time. So on that note, I would like to invite our first company, our first team Sante, to please share their screen and present their projects. Over to you, Team One.
Does that take my screen?
Yes, please.
Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. This is group 1. Our product is called Sante. Sante means health in French, and it's been our idea has been derived from the problem statement: what products, activities, and ideas can we develop to make people live longer and fitter? So we hope to take you through our entrepreneurial journey so far in these slides.
Yeah, so the issue we chose to tackle were the diseases of fibromyalgia and multiple sclerosis, which is I also refer to as MS. MS, unfortunately, it affects millions around the world and is the most common disabling neurological disease in young adults and occurs between the ages of 20 and 40. More than 50% of reported limitations in daily activity. So they weren't able to do basic things, and they experience fatigue, physical weaknesses in their body, and they aren't able to do things we often take for granted as healthy humans. And yeah, they're just limited in a lot of aspects of their life. Fibromyalgia which is the second disease we looked at, also is very similar. The pain in fibromyalgia can be very intense and constant, and it can be severe enough to keep you at home from doing work and other activities. 80% of participants who have unfortunately got this disease have pain almost every single day of their life. So you can understand how bad this can get. And unfortunately, there is no basic support system apart from doctors and medicines to deal with it or even track their progress. So on to Kavya to talk about our solution.
So as they've mentioned, our app will primarily be focusing on 2 diseases, fibromyalgia and multiple sclerosis. What our app is essentially going to do is it's going to help patients live a longer, fitter, and pain-free life. It's going to help them manage their symptoms, prevent relapse, and also prevent the disease from progressing to a point where it's unmanageable and unwanted for the patients.
Our entrepreneurial ideas to provide and create an app that targets specific diseases of fibromyalgia and multiple sclerosis. It's built up on the 4 pillars of health, which is diet, exercise, sleep, and mood. It will be used to track symptoms, pain, energy levels, and will also create a graphic trend to show improvement or stability of symptoms.
So multiple sclerosis causes damage to nerve fibers in the central nervous system. Over time, it can lead to vision problems, muscle weakness, loss of balance, or numbness. MS prevalence has increased in every world region since 2013. About 4 million cases per year in India are reported for multiple sclerosis. Fibromyalgia is a disorder characterized by widespread musculoskeletal pain, accompanied by fatigue, sleep, memory, and mood issues. More than 10 million people a year get fibromyalgia in India.
Focus areas of the app. So as I mentioned earlier, it's divided into diet, exercise, sleep, and mood. In diet, we have a separate section for plant-based diet, as that is most recommended for these patients. In exercise, we have movement-based exercises through videos and photos that the patients can follow. Sleep is divided into meditation, tracking their breathing patterns, which includes heart levels, oxygen levels, as well as gratitude. In mood, we're going to be checking up on how the patient is feeling. We'll also be giving access to cognitive behavioral therapy, which is in connection with professional therapists with background. We'll also have a symptoms tracker to monitor pain, energy, mobility, and visual symptoms. And we'll also have access to support groups, not only for the patients, but also for the caregivers. And all above will show a graphic trend to see progress or stability or improvement of symptoms.
So a unique selling proposition. Only market driver, no availability of app for these diseases. Support groups not only for patients but also for caregivers. Graphic trends as weekly reports of tracking symptoms, pains, and energy levels.
Business model. Key partners. So our key partners are divided into technical aspects, app content aspects, as well as connections for customers, which is contacts that will be available for the patients to use. In technical aspects, we essentially have software developers to help develop the app in the first place. App content speaks to general physicians, dietitians, and trainers that will act as the credibility quotient for the content that's available on the app. And we'll also have therapists and physiotherapists, which is access to cognitive behavioral therapy that the patients can use. Key activities include developing the app, maintenance of the site when the app is up and running, research and development to make sure that the app is not stagnant, there's always something new that's coming up, and marketing to get the product out there. Key resources are divided in primary and secondary. In primary research, we'll essentially be talking to physicians and cognitive behavioral therapists. And in secondary research, we'll be looking at internet and Google Scholars for constant updating of the app. Key propositions include to help people with fibromyalgia and MS manage their symptoms and their lifestyle. And there's also no app available right now that helps people with these diseases. And apps that do exist have bugs. Our app will aim to bridge this problem. Customer segments include individuals with fibromyalgia and MS, as well as people taking care of individuals suffering with these diseases, which is not only the patients, which is not only the doctors in the hospitals, but also the caregivers.
So for our customer relations, we're going to essentially be focusing on acting as the patient's guide to living a fitter life, and also as the patient's caretaker for symptom management. For our channels, we're going to be looking at App Store through directed searches, as well as suggestions, social media as influencers and ads, and doctors and medical professionals who are going to recommend our app. For our cost structure, we obviously have upfront cost, which is the cost of developing the app and contacting the software developer. We have consultancy costs for dietitians, therapists, and physiotherapists. We have marketing costs, for example, social media and influencers, like I mentioned earlier. And lastly, we have costs for fixing bugs and adding new features, which comes under app maintenance and research and development. Lastly, for our revenue stream, our app is going to be started off with a 7-day trial, which will be available to all patients, after which they're going to be taking on a subscription model on a monthly basis or an annual basis. We're going to be charging 200 per month or 2,000 rupees annually.
So our plan moving forward would be to cater to more people, and add a wider range of services and cater to people who unfortunately have diseases, and be a service to those who need it, and to add more features and create something like a chat room with doctors, so there's a one-on-one communication with them, and medicines can be prescribed and advice can be given also.
Coming to the SWOT analysis, it is said that when you make for all, you serve none. So our biggest strength is that our biggest strength lies in our customers, and we hope to provide a focused approach and provide focused services. Our weakness is that being a part of the health industry, we would require a lot of time to build confidence and a loyal customer base. Our opportunity lies in doctors and organizations working with related patients, and they would recommend our app to them. Our biggest threat are the apps, the health app giants that offer less services but to more number of patients. Um, this brings us to our competitors. Healthify Me is not at all specialized and is highly priced. Reviews state that Healthians and WebMed also lack reliable information. At this point, Sante works on all these aspects and is a clear winner.
Marketing. Dr. Philip Kotler, father of modern marketing, defines marketing as a science and art of exploring, creating, and delivering value to satisfy the needs of a target market at a profit to our audience. So, to increase the awareness of our product, we recommend to use regular partnership advertisements, blogs, and social media marketing like online advertisement, pamphlets, radio, traditional methods, sponsorship, and referral marketing. Expenditure on any of the platforms such as social media. From the total estimated budget, we aim to spend 53% on social media, 35% on print and newspapers, and the remaining 12% on sponsorship and online advertisement. For the marketing channels, our product we aim to use PR, social media, and sponsorship.
On your screen, you see a working prototype of the app. It has a walk around and provides overview and detailed analysis on symptoms, exercise, diet, sleep, and mood. It also helps to connect to fitness trackers. and has other features as well. The app has been made on Figma and we would like to credit it.
Our team consists of 6 members: Veda, who's a student in grade 9, Kavya, who is a student in grade 10, Dev and Aditya, who are students in grade 11, Kabir, who's a grade 8 student, and Pratisha, who's a student in grade 12.
Thank you. We hope you enjoyed our app and our presentation.
Okay, thank you, Team Sante. At this point of time, I would love for our two mentors and to maybe say a few words in terms of what they felt about the presentation. If there are any tips or any suggestions, would love to welcome that. Over to Shoki first.
Sure. I'm so amazed to see 9th graders and 10th graders in this group, which is absolutely fantastic. It's such an honor to sit in front of you guys with this kind of thought. I love the idea. I think couple of my thoughts. First, I would when you say that in your SWOT analysis that your strength is that you're focused, but when I look at your Figma design, I see that there is a lot happening on that. So I think if you're saying your strength is focused, then you stick to your primary objective and nothing else. As you move forward, all these pieces will unfold for you. But right at the beginning, whenever you look at launching this product, you should look at first is minimal viable product. Look at that. Rest everything will automatically, you'll find a way to where you can maneuver it and what direction you should choose. Being a marketer, I would definitely comment on that too. From marketing space, when you say 35% newspaper, as you know, where we are living right now in this current scenario, there is a paradigm shift, and this entire piece is moving towards digital. So I would say maybe for the beginning, I would put that as 10% to mainline advertising, and remaining your 90%, 85-90% should be on digital, because that's something which you can spend less and reach more with a similar amount. Yeah. Otherwise, great idea. A great presentation, guys.
Thank you for your comments, Shoki. Over to Namita.
Hi, guys. First of all, fantastic effort. Super amazed, exactly like how Shoki said, to have these 8th graders to 11th graders presenting such fantastic ideas. I'm not going to really comment on the marketing, because I think Shoki's already done that and your product, but more on the science side, or on the on the medical side of things. I think one of the things that you guys need to consider are licenses, and ensuring that, somebody mentioned that you would have prescriptions through this app, and you probably need to get licenses for that. And I don't know whether that's even allowed, for you to have license prescriptions happening through the app. But I love the idea of having doctors market it out for you. So if that's your thought, and you have doctors that are onboarded on your app, they could potentially just kind of add the treatment and the follow-up on the app itself for the clients to then for the patients to then follow through with. So that's just one suggestion. But otherwise, I love the way it looks, and I love how you thought about the making it very easy for patients to use this app. And yeah, one other suggestion is I would focus on perhaps maybe launching it for one disease first, and then follow through with the other, rather than think of the 2 diseases that there is no app for. But otherwise, well done.
Thank you so much, Namita and Shoki. And Namita, especially for you, this next project which is coming up is on education, so hopefully it'll be fun. Over to group number 8, Team Akira.
Yep, I'll just share the screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes, it is.
All right.
So good evening to one and all present this day. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare today. We all know that technology has played a vital role in the daily lives of people, and we at Akira hope to combine the two worlds of technology and education. Education. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when I say education? It hints to classrooms and learning. However, the future of education has been one of the most talked about topics in the world due to the rising of a deadly pandemic in the world today. Students and all kinds of learning was stopped because of this global pandemic, and there were serious issues raised based upon boredom and mental health of students. But what if I said that we have come up with a way to help students get the feel of a physical classroom back? Exciting, right? And that's when we come in. Akira, the educational headsets of the future. Akira provides users with an interface which allows students to be able to experience the physical classroom at the comfort of their own homes. We at Akira aim to cure boredom and side effects of online classrooms on students. Akira provides students with virtual reality headsets based in the metaverse, which enables them to join classes and interact with their peers. It also allows users to learn from topics that are not taught in their school textbooks and syllabus, such as financial independence, climate change, AI, and various other exciting topics. The metaverse is the next big technology platform, attracting online game makers, social networks, and other technology leaders. Virtual 3D worlds, the metaverse is the convergence of the physical and digital realms in the next evolution of the internet and social networks using real-time 3D software. Over to Karan.
There are a lot of problems that students face due to these online classes. The main ones being that they miss the feel of a physical classroom, deterioration of their mental health, increased boredom, and difficulty in grasping concepts. To provide you with a broader picture, we surveyed about 50 students from the ages 12 to 17-year-old and found out that only 17.6% people enjoy online classes, and the rest are either unsure because they yet haven't completely figured out the whole system of online learning, or are just victims of boredom due to the online classes because they are unable to interact with the peers and study along with them during these classes. Over to Arna.
But we are here to solve these problems. Akira provides users with an opportunity to experience how an offline classroom feels like. Using virtual reality based in the metaverse, we offer courses on different topics which students can't learn through school textbooks. They can get access to all of these courses through our mobile app. Our interface solves the problems as mentioned previously. We solve problems which students face daily. Moving on, our product features contain a range of new technological aspects. We provide immersive and world-aware headsets. Akira also delivers incredible performance in a small power-efficient computer. And at 316 grams, it's as light as a pair of headphones to help bring comfort to long shifts. One of the key features of our product is the handheld and hand-free feature. Akira offers low latency multi-modal input to enable a range of interactions, from the conference room to the design studio and to pens or any kinds of stationery. Students can choose the tools that they need for their work. Over to Arna.
You might ask, is your solution effective? Don't worry, we've got you covered over there as well. We at Akira carried out a primary research survey where we asked around 50 students if they would like their online classes to be conducted in a virtual reality classroom, which is based in Metaverse, to which around 82.4% students said yes and were keen and excited about this. They were tired of not being able to feel the classroom vibe as they were stuck at home due to the pandemic. Those who said no and maybe were afraid of the fact that Metaverse, being relatively new, still has no surety. But we assure you that Metaverse is going to be a major part of our future. The sooner we get introduced to it and we get more exposure to it, the easier our future will be. Over to Arnav.
We have competitors in two different fields, one being on the technology side. Even though these companies have dwelled much deeper into the concepts of VR and metaverse, we are at an advantage as we focus on the learning side of this and not the whole of VR and metaverse technology. Companies that stand as competition are Microsoft, Google, Facebook, and Roblox. Next slide. The second field that we have the competition in is the education industry. These companies provide great experience, but we have an advantage over them as we provide the VR classroom experience, which will increase interaction among students. Companies that stand as competitors to our products are Clever Harvest, Skillshare, and Brilliant. Over to Karan.
We focus on students going to international schools between the age group of 12 to 17-year-old, which is basically high school students. Even among these students, we focus on those who are excited about the thought of learning and miss the old physical classroom feeling. We cater to a niche market where users are able to witness the full effectiveness of a product and buy our service. Over to Misha.
Our key resources include the following: our app and software, our headset, and specialized course syllabus. Our key partners include the following: our headset manufacturers, experienced software engineers, AI ML engineers, teachers and professors to design course syllabus, logistic partners, and cloud services. Our key activities include the following: creating the software and VR headset, hosting webinars to explain users the usage, creating the courses for our users, and support to our users. Our customer relations include: we maintain relations with our customer via our app and software through the 24/7 chatbot health service. We will host webinars for them to explain to them the usage of this technology and authentic reviews, as the users will only be able to give feedbacks after they have completed the course. Over to Anna.
We will mainly do our marketing via all social media platforms, search engine optimization, direct mails, word of mouth, and the workshops that we will conduct in partnership with school to explain our whole product and the courses. We also wish to market via newspapers. Even though the students of this generation aren't keen readers of newspaper, this will actually help us to stimulate the importance of these courses and the VR headsets to the parents, who at the end of the day are going to be the ones paying for them. We plan on partnering up with schools to be able to promote our product to students and teachers in those schools. Our product offers a range of new age courses which will allow students to gain exposure to experiential learning. Over to Karan.
So these are our revenue streams. The right side of the slide includes how we will earn the money, and the left side shows our expenditures. We at Akira use price skimming and premium pricing strategies to price our headsets. We offer a basic plan to which users can make additions. The basic plan costs 25,000 Indian rupees per year, and this includes 5 courses on any topics of user's choice and the headset. Post this, the users can add on courses at 3,000 rupees per year. We also provide discounts to students who are in the partner schools. Over to Arnav.
We at Akira plan on following the values which were stated earlier, one of which includes keep learning and growing. So in the near future, our steps are that we will start out with 100 headsets. We will curate our courses and then reach out to schools to partner with us. In this way, we will find our first customers. When the students buy the courses, this will give us the chance to test out our headsets. By the end of the first course, the students will be able to give us their feedback. This will help us improve our headsets. Then this whole process will go back to the first step. The research and development is a never-ending process for any tech or edtech startup. Next slide. The user will follow the following steps whenever they open the app. First, they will log in or sign up into the app. Next slide. Next, they will have these various options. If someone hasn't yet bought a course, then instead of joining class, they will be shown the option of buying courses. If they click on a join call, they will be shown the option of choosing an avatar to join the VR classroom. Over to Arav.
So the next slide, this slide shows how this is how a virtual reality classrooms will look like. Students have the opportunity to interact with their peers with the option of one-on-one interaction, and can interact with their teachers too. This is how our virtual reality classrooms will be looking like. And finally, this is the team behind the project. And in conclusion, we at Akira believe that technology can become the future of education and can definitely help education develop in ways that it never has. Thank you.
Thank you, Team 8, Team Akira. Again, comments from our mentors. Over to Namita.
So such a fantastic idea. Wow, well done. I'd love to kind of experience using these headsets and interacting with my team. So the only comment and suggestion that I have is that essentially you're developing two things. Okay, you're developing these headphones, which is a product, and you're developing these virtual classes. So in my head, it's like two different products that you're focusing on. What I would suggest is you choose one or the other. I love your idea of having these virtual classrooms, but what if you took this product, like this headphone that you've created, and to a company that already has online products, and to say, hey, use this as a means to deliver your classes. So for example, if you went to Coursera, or you went to Khan Academy and said, look, use my technology to make the classes which already exist a lot more interactive. So then you're just focused on designing your headsets and kind of spending all your R&D and all the funding that you get on this amazing idea on just making these headsets a lot more user-friendly and viable, and the experience being a lot better, then also simultaneously trying to make courses that already exist and that are out there in the market and competing with the bigger players that are out there. So that's just a suggestion, but well done, and fantastic idea. You could even come to me and say, hey, Red Pen, why don't you use this for your meetings? And I'd definitely consider it.
Yeah, I was smiling there, Namita, because one of my partners, Nimish, was also messaging to me that, messaging on the group that, listen, can we host some of the BRG classes out on your platform? So I think that's a great way of putting it. Any comments from Shoki?
I think I did had a quick chat with this group, and I see it's transformed. The idea has taken a great shape. Mind blown, guys. This is what not the future is. This is the present. This is what is literally. If you Google who all are doing right now, you'll find a gazillion people doing the same thing. So I think just go for it. I think it's ready-made. You guys done a great job on your market research. You know exactly what the pain point is, and that is the pain point. I mean, a quick thing on the presentation side, when you said 41%, 14%, 31%, I think I just couldn't understand which one is what. So whether 41% is if people are interested in online classes or not. So I think that I wanted some clarity on that. I got completely confused. Apart from that, the idea is great. As taking the cue from Namita, I think either you could be a product company or a service company. You cannot be both. What you're trying to do right now is you are trying to be a product company and a service company. That is basically your OPEX, your operation cost will be so high that you won't be able to sustain a business like this. So either you make a choice. Like you already have Oculus, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's already been there. People have already. Facebook has invested a lot of money on this. They've already created the product. You don't need to create a product because you need a lot of effort in creating a hardware. Focus on the software which can actually feed and look at your all metaverse applications. What they're doing is they're trying to give applications for Oculus. They're designing for Oculus, right? Nike already started. Nike designed sort of their avatars, sports avatars. They're doing it. If you buy an Oculus, you choose Nike's app, you will see all experiments that they've already started doing it. So this is the present. Go for it. I think it's a great idea. Fantastic job, guys.
Thank you, guys. And I know, Shoki, we were talking about Oculus as well. One of the main problems with that was that, of course, it's an expensive headset. And that's what will define your pricing strategy. But again, great job, guys. Thank you, the mentors, for the comments. And now moving to the world of languages, I'd love to invite team 4, group number 4, Olympia, which means clean in Spanish. So over to you guys for your next presentation.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. We are group 4,
and before,
today...
Aditya, I'm so sorry. I confused it with the world of languages. Sorry, to the world of sustainability. Over to you. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. So good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. We are group 4, and today we're going to introduce Olympia. So India alone produces 25,940 tons of waste every day, and 0.67 kg of waste is generated per person in India every single day. What will we do when we find that our surroundings are full of filth? Wait for the civic authorities to come and clean that? Probably yes. There will be a time when our municipalities will get their acts together and start working sincerely. But till then, we just can't sit back and wait for things to happen on their own. Cleanup drives and other programs to promote sustainability exist, but they suffer from a lack of participation due to a low incentive. Another problem with these drives is that no one knows what happens to the trash after it is collected. So there is no certainty if it will be recycled or disposed of properly. So even though there is a desperate need for the amount of trash on our roads, beaches, and other areas to be cleaned, very few people are willing to help.
And this is where Olympia comes in. We're a service that hosts drives and events that promote sustainability. And we plan to do this with the help of the general public. How? Well, we would do this by implementing a reward system in which people could earn redeemable points by taking part in various drives or events that we host. Users who take part in these events would earn points according to their contribution. For example, in a cleanup drive, points would be awarded based on the weight or the total amount of trash collected by them. Trash collected could then be used for various purposes. For example, plastic trash could be mixed with mud and made into bricks known as eco bricks. And now this is where our main responsibility comes in, and that's a disposal of waste. And how would we do this properly? First of all, we'll segregate the waste into different sections and dispose of it accordingly. For example, recyclable waste could be sent to waste recycling plants, or biodegradable waste could be disposed using composting. Now over to Ayushi to discuss our target market.
So our main consumer base will be students from schools and colleges in the cities in which drives and events are being hosted. And we conducted a survey. We asked respondents to rate the probability, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest, that they would attend these events if they earned points by doing so. So over 90% of the students responded with a 4 or 5, given that the schools or colleges would be affiliated with us. Even though our priority will be students, anyone who is registered with us through our platforms will be able to attend these drives and earn points. Over to Moyad.
So we also have to think about how exactly we're going to approach our customers. Since we know we're targeting younger adults or students, we need to really analyze the activity or interest in order to gain their attention. So we also realize that they use a lot of social media platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and other medias. So we'll be running ads on that to help promote our initiative. We'd also like to maximize participation from the student body by partnering with various schools and colleges and cities that we will be targeting.
Our major market competitors are Shuddhi and Earthlings. Earthlings are a group of IT employees with 250 plus volunteers working towards waste management and plan to keep a track of the waste disposal by taking the help of the people participating in their marathons. Whereas Shuddhi conducts fundraisers for the poor, overall, they have raised more than 78 lakh rupees. What is unique about Limpio is that its consumers would earn points for participating in events through which discounts can be redeemed. This makes our events more interesting to participate in. Over to Ridhiman.
Our main source of income would be through sponsorships. Our affiliations with schools and colleges would attract a huge number of people, which would incentivize companies to sponsor us and market themselves and fulfill their social responsibility initiatives. We will also sell certain products like tree plantation kits and other such products which are eco-friendly to our environment. The partners we have with us are like Conscious by H&M. Adidas has collaborated with Parle Ocean Plastics to create clothes which are made out of plastic, which is always dumped into the ocean. Levi's also has an eco-friendly collection called Circulose, and we plan to partner with them and sell the products with us. Over to Anna.
So this is a timeline created for this project, which involves 4 stages. So the first stage is website and app development. For example, creating a wireframe. The second stage is finding companies and partners. So we would run surveys to find out which city would have the highest participation among students, and then use this data to pitch to companies. The third step is marketing. So we would basically partner with institutions and run ad campaigns. And in this, we would need to collaborate with schools and colleges to spread awareness about the program and its features among students. And we would also launch ad campaigns externally to get more people involved in our service. And the fourth and final step is running the actual events. So now we would have secure funding and partner with schools and colleges, and we would actually go ahead and conduct these drives and events.
So in our team, Ananya is in grade 12th, Aditya Arun, Aditya Ahuja, and me Ayushi are from 11th. Moyad is in 10th, Ayana is in 9th, and Ridhiman is from 8th. Thank you.
Okay, Team Olympia, thank you so much for that. I think just one comment from my side would be that when you are trying to promote sustainability, I think I did mention it earlier as well. You cannot, maybe, of course, I know the kind of brands, whether that's Adidas or Levi's or H&M, those are fast fashion brands, and maybe your customers do not like that you're engaging with them, even though you're engaging with sort of a better marketing tool that they have. But that would be just something from my side. But over to Namita for comments and you on this project.
Gee, I think Namita just...
Okay, yeah, so over to Shoki.
I love this piece. All in all, guys, I mean, this is one of my favorite topics when it comes to sustainability. I mean, my only thought is, I think you could have elaborated. I mean, to me, marketing piece is something that I pay attention to very closely. A space like this where socially conscious people, it's a new sort of a breed that is coming out right now, and tapping into that market and making them understand your value proposition is something which can only be handled via a very strong communication and marketing piece. And I think your marketing piece could have improved a little. I think if you pay attention to that, I mean, the concept is great, and I beg to differ with Rishi. I think H&M conscious, all these pieces, the reason why they've created is because there is a sentiment in the market where they're fast fashion brand, they want to project themselves that they're also doing something positive. So I think from a sentiment point of view, those are low hanging fruit for you. You can easily approach, it's approachable, doable. Your concept is right. I think the marketing piece, because people, it's very difficult for people to actually understand sustainability. It's used very loosely in today's context. So I think the focus should be on the marketing piece. Make it more concrete, have very clear understanding who are you talking to? Are you talking to the students? Or are you talking to people who have the potential to actually buy that product? You know? So I think that these are a couple of my points. Rest, I think it's great again. Like I'm always, whenever I see 8th grader, 9th grader, 10th grader talking about it, I don't know what I was doing when I was in 8th grade. So, you know, so great guys. Thank you so much for your time. Fantastic work.
Thank you. Thanks for your comment, Shoki. Thank you, Team Olympia. Now, the next team, Team 6, is going to move us to the world of heritage and culture and handicrafts. So to talk about that, our next company is Indian Kazana. Over to you guys. Okay, is anyone sharing screen from your team?
Yeah, there's just some technical difficulties. Someone just sharing it. Sorry.
No problem. No problem.
Sorry, I forgot to press present before sharing.
No problem, Neil. Go ahead. You share your screen once again. Again, for all the other teams as well, that's why we sort of have those house rules of making sure that all of you have the screen open. Perfect. Awesome.
Okay, so hello everyone, and hope everybody's doing well. And we are Indian Kazana, Treasures of India. So someone move to the next slide, please. So today's okay, over to Lehar.
It's fine, guys. You can go back. You can go back and you can explain the bunch what you were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Today's topics, we are going to talk about the problems, the main problems and solutions. What is Indian Kazana, our target market, and what we have researched, and the products we are selling, and what are the propositions and marketing channels, and the gist of it. So over to Lehar.
Yes, through our product, we're going to tackle three main problems. The first problem we're going to be tackling is the large amount of third culture kids in India. India has the largest annual number of migrants globally, with 2.5 million people migrating overseas every year and growing outside their culture. The second problem we're going to be tackling is the slow decay of our local craftsmanship. As machines are taking over, and these craftsmen take longer to produce their work, they're slowly losing their jobs. We're losing precious art, such as the Rogan art of painting, which is only practiced in Kutch and nowhere else in the world. The third problem we're tackling is the lack of big fairs in India. And through our research, we have found out that there's only 14 large-scale fairs, and they're primarily annual and limited to a single state. Next slide. Our company, India's Kazana, will provide a healthy and immersive way for people to learn about Indian culture through music, plays, dances, goods, and recreational activities. We will support local artisans by giving them a more interactive way to reach their consumers. We will also cater to families and give them a year-round website that exports goods to the most of the world from our verified artisans.
Well, Indian Kazana is an indigenous brand, and most Indians are unaware of their culture and heritage, and some people really want to explore that, and we don't see a lot of people. There's some people who travel in budget, so they can't explore India, which is a very, very big country, and we are rich with our cultures. So what we do is we create a festival where everybody, famous states come in one area, and we have local artisans come in and display their products and whatever they have. During this festival, we will showcase various local exports such as handicrafts and textile, and great entertainment with regional performances and really good food with local delicacies. But mainly, our main goal is to create an immersive experience while supporting our local artisans. So it's directly from the artisans and craftsmen. We just connect you to them directly. There is no sort of middleman. And this again, going back to our audience, our target audience, we mainly want to look at families who are willing to come over and really find out about various states and cultures, and the gist of it. It's a great platform for tourists and expats who can really come and see the wide the diverse Indian culture. And it's again under budget as well, because many people really can't afford to go all over India, and also time as well. And most importantly, we really want the young adults to come and check out what India is about, rather than going on with the Western culture. Next slide, please.
Each region of India is endowed with a unique craftsmanship that adds charm to the state and the country as a whole. We chose the products that we are selling based on the results we got from our Google form. Next slide, please. Bamboo art crafts. The various items made from bamboo are baskets, toys, furniture, mats, tapestries, and jewelry boxes. Bamboo crafts are predominantly prepared in West Bengal, Assam, and Tripura. Spices. Spices and herbs such as black pepper, cinnamon, turmeric, and cardamom have been used by Indians for thousands of years. The state of Madhya Pradesh is the largest producer of spices across India. Madhubani paintings. Madhubani paintings is a style of art that is commonly practiced in Bihar. These paintings are created using natural pigments and dyes and are embellished by eye-catching geometrical patterns. The themes of these paintings are about festivals and occasions such as marriage, birth, and other important days in the Hindu culture and calendar. Next slide, please. Pottery and terracotta works. Terracotta work is the art of making figurines and statues from clay or mud. The villages of Assam have amazing imprints of its ancient and unique culture on their terracotta and pottery works. These craftsmen mainly focus on making statues of religious symbols. The major center of the terracotta market of the world is the village of Dhubri in the Golpara district of Assam. Fulkari fabrics. Fulkari is a traditional Punjab folk embroidery that is famous worldwide. In the region of Punjab and Haryana, the Fulkari embroidery means flower work. This kind of embroidery is made of complex designs and is created with horizontal and vertical stitches. This entire work is done with colorful silk floss and is spun on charika or a spinning wheel and is engraved on shawls, kurtis, and dupattas. Brass handicrafts. Rajasthan is the main manufacturing center of brass handicrafts. The artisans that deal with the creation of these handicrafts are known as kansaris. This metal is used to make many different items like Lord Ganesha's figures, vases, and ornament boxes. Next slide.
So what makes us unique? In addition to selling cost-friendly products and ensuring that everyone has access to our cultural events, we will be selling the local products available at our cultural dances and music events. This would provide an immersive experience for each of our customers, as they would not only be able to enjoy the events, but also take a piece of it home. We will also be providing the stories of the people who make all of this possible, the artisans. This will let our customers know how they get their products and help us to effectively assist these artisans. Next slide. In terms of how we'll be marketing this service, we'll be making use of various social media platforms and sponsored online posts for our upcoming events, and use newsletters on our website and publish articles in magazines to highlight our cultural dances and music events.
Oops, sorry. We have to make sure that we can pay the artisans in the marketing / social media team. We have to pay to supply the products and shipment. We need to promote the business using ads too. We have to make sure that the festival runs smoothly. We need to hire a band, get food and entertainment, rent out a space for the festival, etc.
Neil, you're muted.
Yeah. Sorry. So this.
It's fine. Please go ahead.
This isn't.
Okay.
Yeah. So the revenue, we're going to be charging a base price for the tradesmen and the participants of our event. And we'll also be taking a percentage of the profit from the website. How we come out to our competitors, or as we've learned, our players, because they're playing in the same game as we are. Two of the biggest competitors that we have found is Dastakar, and the other one is Fab India. Dastakar is a private non-for-profit NGO. So they support traditional Indian craftsmen, and many of them are women that are village-based. They help craftsmen regain their place in the economic mainstream, as these days they're not in a place to be. And the other one is Fab India. Fab India, most of you guys are very familiar with. Fab India is one of the largest private platforms. They make products that are traditionally over 55,000 craft-based rural producers to modern urban markets. And They're also craft-based, contemporary, and affordable.
So our team is Jyotsna, Neil, Dehar, Nishka, Siddharth, and myself, Devansh Konda, and we are Indian Kazana. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And just for everyone else, I do understand how hard it is for everyone to do public speaking as well. But I'm so glad you guys pulled through all the tech issues and everything. I would request you to please stop your screen share, and we'll move on to the comments once again. Over to you, Shoki.
Thank you, guys. I have one quick question first. I'll start with that. Who designed this presentation? Who was the designer behind it?
It was all of us.
Okay. I think it was very well branded. I think where you started your logo and your brown color, I think the whole piece is coming together. That was a great job. It looks interesting. Like you pay attention when you see something which is sort of like aligned together. Regarding my couple of my comments, when you look at, I did not understand. I mean, when you showed the last two slides of your competitors, Dastakar and Fabin, my perception changed, because just before that I was thinking you're targeting masses, because you showed some bigger numbers initially, that is your larger market that you're targeting, and towards the end you went into a more premium sort of a range, right? So I think there was a gap. I think you could try and fulfill this gap. Second, I mean, there are a lot of companies like I mean, one of the companies we are servicing, they're also pretty much in the similar space. So I could share a few interesting learnings that we had. When you look at a space like this, again, your market is pretty big, but as you said that sourcing materials from all across India, like you're picking something from Assam, or you're picking something from Odisha, you haven't covered the logistic challenges that you are going to be facing, because these I think you could just elaborate more on that space. Apart from that, I think you could look at Lal 10 as one of the brands, or you could look at India Craft as another brand, and also your revenue stream. I mean, why would you want to just restrict yourself with the festival? I think festival, take that festival slide and bring it to the marketing piece, because festival is going to help you market the products that you have, right? So I think if you separate that, then you are able to differentiate and create a very clean model, which is a web-based application, which brings in people. You bring in all the products together, and to promote that once in a year, twice in a year, thrice in a year, you have festivals at different locations, right? So what happens is that it fuels the whole idea of your business. Otherwise, I think it was a great effort. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Shoki, for detailed comments. Now moving on to our next team, which is in the field of health, which is called Health Base. Take it over, guys. Team 9.
So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the pitch deck for Health Base. So we can move on to the next slide, where my teammate Siddhartha will talk about our problem statement.
Yeah.
So basically our problem statement is something like, how can we improve self-checkups and automated healthcare digitally? Yeah, Heyman, next.
So, are you guys ever tired of maintaining your medical records, files, and data? Have you been frustrated by the amount of paper you need to carry to the hospital just for a single checkup? Let me tell you, I can personally connect with that problem. Every time I go to the hospital, there's always this one file or this one thing which I don't have. And that sometimes restricts me from getting certain checkups in the hospital. And honestly speaking, it's irritating. The story I have is once I was in the hospital getting a checkup and I had a missing CT scan. And well, technically I lost the CT scan, the physical CT scan. And so without doubt, we had to waste our money and we had to get that done again. And let me tell you, it was no cheap deal. And in general, whenever I accompanied my grandparents to the hospitals, we always carried these jute bags, which had tons and tons of files. And honestly, it was very messy. And what motivated me and all of my teammates was that we all shared this experience together. Next slide, please. And here is our solution to the problem. So while coming up to the solution, we all thought, why don't we digitize all of this together into one single app? So that every time you go to the hospital, the hassle for managing files and folders is no longer there. All you need is your phone the phone in your pocket with our app. So I'll explain on to how HealthBase is basically going to solve the problem in the backend. Firstly, we will be setting up a digital platform through the use of an app. And this app will have a feature for our customers to upload all of their medical files. Secondly, we will be looking to partner up with path labs and hospitals where we will share the data, where there will be a shared database of our customers who are also the customers for the hospitals. And so every time they go to the hospital or the path lab, all the new data, records, and tests which they do are automatically updated on our app. As an example, let's say you're going to the previous slide. As an example, let's say you're going to the path lab to get a blood test done. You go there, you get a blood test done, and in 2 hours the blood test results are ready. And since the path labs has been partnering with our company, as soon as they get the data, it will be updated on your app. So you'll get the PDF format of the blood report on your phone, on your app. And so you can use that anywhere you go, any hospital you go, any doctor you go to. Moreover, by partnering up with these hospitals and path labs, our customers, who are also the patients for the hospitals, will be able to easily make use of our app to show their stored medical records to these hospitals. And they will accept it since they are our partners. Moreover, since our problem statement also incorporates self-checkups, we have included a feature of having a self-checkup guide, which allows you to have a directory of knowledge in which you can read through and understand in order to get a small diagnosis. And moreover, my teammate Divya will further delve on this topic when she discusses HealthBase's unique selling point. On to the next slide. So on this slide, we can see our prototype. So of course, we've created a very basic prototype here, but this is what our app is going to look like. We're going to have a login page from which you can create your own account and you can log in. And in this ID which you create, all of your data will be stored. As you can see on the second image, that's going to be your homepage. And when you click the menu option, you're going to have all of these options included. You guys can read that as I speak right now. And on to the next slide, please. So this is again our prototype. As we further delve into it, you can see your own personal profile right here. And under your personal profile, you'll also have all your medical records, blood tests, urine tests, CT scans, X-rays, etc., etc. But another feature which we have, which I want to discuss through this prototype, is our family pack. In our family pack, you can create an account for your whole family where you can incorporate your mom, your dad, your siblings, your grandparents together in order to ensure that all of your family members' health is on check and that all the medical records are up to date. And even if you're living somewhere outside of state, somewhere abroad, then you can easily access the information of your family members. And this is medical information I'm talking about. And on the last image, of course, you can see all of the filters, which is, your past medical issues, your past medical data, your past prescriptions, surgeries. Yeah, on to the next one, please. Thank you.
We believe our business idea is different and is unique, and here's how. Here's our unique selling proposition. Most applications currently in the market that digitize medical records are not very legitimate or very reliable, because the question that arises is whether the customer would really regularly update their medical records after every visit to the doctor. How we solve this problem is by partnering with hospitals and integrating our database with theirs. This way, the hospital themselves will update the user's medical record, and this way it makes the coordination between the doctors and the patients really easy. Additionally, you can connect different accounts together, and this way, even if you live abroad, say Germany, and your grandparents live here in India, you can actually check the medical records or recent appointments or recent medicines taken with just one click. I hand over to Niall now.
So on to the next slide, please. Yeah, so you can see a small, more detailed preview of what the login page would be like for first-time users. Most of the details we're going to be asking our users for the first time they log in are details that are simple to access and usually are at the customer's hand. Our integrated features that you can unlock with this small amount of information is a medicine's consumption schedule, which reminds you what medicines to take when according to your doctor's prescription. Medicine purchases and delivery with a little bit of extra fees on it. Appointment scheduling done by the app, which will be connected to the hospital scheduling system. Regular checkup, which will also be a paid feature. A self-checkup guide, which will tell the patient a small amount of equipment they must have, such as a BP tester, a blood test for sugar patients, etc. And it guides them step by step through the process of checking their surgery scheduling and post-operative care. This one will be used more for hospitals, because when there is better scheduling for the doctors, they have a better idea of what their day is going to look like. And also post-operative care, nurses know when their shift ends, what patients they are going to be taking care of. Infant care is where we have the mother reminded of vaccinations upcoming for their child, what kind of food they need to purchase for their child, and basic tips on how to keep a child healthy for the first few weeks of post-delivery. Vaccination signups and reminders. This is more of a milestone goal. When our app gains more credibility and more users, we are hoping to get government support for our app and hoping to become a portal for vaccination registration, and reminding of dates will also be there. Instead of having digital prescriptions, instead of having paper prescriptions handed to the patient that they have to carry to every hospital they go to, there can instead be digital prescriptions, which are much easier to carry around, tend to get lost less, and that would reduce the amount of retesting done, which also reduces the cost. Emergency care, if a person is taking a self-checkup and is found to have highly unusual statistics or results, it will immediately contact an ambulance, and emergency help will be sent that way. And in light of the recent COVID-19, we will be teaching people how to quarantine better, how to sanitize, how to receive packages, and tips on those kind of things.
One more thing before we move on is the fact that all of these features described by Niall are going to be our side features, whereas we're going to have our main features, which are already discussed in our main solution and our unique selling point. We can move on to the next slide, which is about revenues.
So our revenue will be coming main. I think you skipped the slide. There's a slide in the middle of
It's not been
revenues.
updated, so you can just speak about it, I guess, now.
Okay, so our main sources of revenue will be four of the previously mentioned services, which are medicine consumption schedule, medicine purchase and delivery, regular checkup scheduling, and self-checkup guide will all have a small fee on them, which the patient will have to either pay to have it, because these aren't emergency things. These aren't emergency tests or required in more like fatal situations. There's also a small fees we'll be requesting from hospitals who are looking to use our services for long periods of time, and additional fees on each prescription will go to us if it is a digital prescription sent from the doctor to the patient. And there will also be, as previously mentioned, a small delivery fee on medication.
And a lot of our revenue will also come through advertisements, which will be sponsored on our app. These advertisements are going to be related to things like, insurance, fitness programs, just health related advertisements in general. Of course, there are a lot of other health apps which are on the market out there. So as soon as our app base grows, of course, we will be also a platform for other people to put their ads on. Of course, these won't be pop-up ads. So yeah, on to the next one.
Next, we have the competition and barrier to entry. In short, we have three major competitors, which are Practo, Medline Plus, and Eka Care. All these three have already have a huge customer base and are already pretty well established. However, we have a plus point since we cover aspects like scheduling appointments, digitize medical records, and self-checkup guides, which not all of these apps do simultaneously. Next slide, please. I now hand over to Prachay.
Right, so I'll be talking about the target demographic, that is, who will be using our app, the users of our app. These mainly include doctors, nurses, pharmaceutical staff, those who are employed in old age homes, or those with dependents of old age or compromised health are expected to be our most active users. Our app is open to anyone who is above the age of 18 in order to ensure safety. And mainly, we will be obviously reaching out to all the genders and ethnicities. Being in the healthcare industry, there is no discrimination whatsoever. To add on, people with low immunity or with a compromised lifestyle who have frequent visits to doctors will greatly benefit from our app. Moving on to the next slide, please.
Guys, I'm so sorry to disturb your flow, but you would need to end it in next 1 minute, please. Yes? Yeah.
Marketing channel, how we are going to reach out to our market is something like we are going to organize vaccine camps for the children. This way, parents who are accommodating their children can actually gain awareness of our brand. Next, we can go to sponsoring health marathon or fitness events, advertisement through organizations or business such as Sculpit, advertisement on Instagram, advertisements through influencers, having radio talks with doctors while they sponsor our app.
Next slide again.
Guys, we can move on to the next slide since we don't have time very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, please, guys, last 30 seconds. I feel really bad cutting you guys off, but please do be mindful of your time and all of your all the other students' time as well. So please, last 30 seconds for you guys.
So I'm just going to talk a little bit about what we're going to use any money we raise for. So first thing is for product development. Obviously, we need to develop our apps since we're not software engineers. Next is to hire influencers, maybe to promote our product, and to hire other people. And mostly we're going to use majority of our money, like you can see here, 45% for marketing. We're using the organized vaccine camps or assets that I talked about for Instagram ads and radio talks, etc.
All right, guys, I think that's pretty much it. You can probably stop sharing. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Hemil, you can just like introduce our team and
It's fine. I think we're out of time.
It's fine. It's fine, guys. Just you can stop your screen share. It's fine. Listen, we do understand all of these things happen, but again, I know the kind of passion you guys bring to your project, so it's fine on that note. Okay, but to all the other teams which are coming up, please be mindful. We'll cut you off at 10 minutes, and I don't think you should need more time to really explain what you have. But on that note, Shoki, for some comments from your side.
Okay, I'll keep it short so that all other students get the chance. Guys, and this I've seen I've seen it in a lot of mature clients that we work with, and this is something which I have in the last session also when I spoke with a bunch of students like you guys. I mentioned this, and I'm going to mention this again because this is fundamentally we go wrong here. And I think if we understand that this early stage, we'll definitely see some shift. Whenever you talk about, I mean, you started beautifully with the medical records that you want to keep. And from there, I saw the slide, which is integrated solutions. Now, you were launching yourself in a very sort of a focused market, and all of a sudden you jumped and now started competing with Practo and Eka and all of them. I mean, you just listed 3. I can name like 50 of them, right? So at this point, everything changes. Your funding scenario, what you want to raise, you need a huge team to run that kind of operations. When you say that you want to associate with your hospitals, you need a partnership team, which is basically a fundamental sort of a backbone of your company, right? You completely miss that. So, and that is happening because you are still thinking about that, what other people are doing. Let me try and get something together. So I'll share an experience real quick. There was this company, they run ambulance service, and this is a real scenario. These are IITians trying to do something interesting. They ran, for 2 years, they ran a successful from 0 ambulance to 80 ambulance in 2 years. They made amazing model. And when pandemic happened, they started giving all of the services that the rest of the world was giving. And now their ambulance business is gone. And now they're in a business where everybody else is also in the same business. So you see, you understand what I'm trying to say? When you look at one focused product, stick to that one concept, start solving bigger problems in that, start looking at, rather than going wider, you go horizontally, vertically strong, so go deep inside, try to look at what are different problems in that one specific space, and how can you solve those problems using technology, communication, marketing, blah, 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 whatever, right? So that was the only thought. Try not to have so many thoughts when you're building a product.
And guys, I mean, this is something that I've been telling you all as well, right? I mean, don't go wide, go deep. You really need to solve for that one particular problem rather than solving for everybody. And if you remember, Team 1 started stating that, if you solve for everybody, you don't solve for anybody. So please keep that in mind while you're presenting, while you're making your plans as well in the future, and start thinking about it that way.
Yeah. Thank you again, Shoki, for your comments. Thank you, Team 9, Health Base. Over to our next team, which is Team 3, Pocket Wardrobe. Over to you guys.
Oh, hi everyone. How's everyone doing today? I hope you all are doing good. I'm excited, and it's already been, I think, 1.5 hours now. So time really flew there. So before I really begin and we really start going into what our app is about here, I just wanted to ask you guys a question. How long do you think you spend trying to pick out an outfit for the day or like an event? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, somewhere around that range. So personally, I spend 5 to 20 minutes. It really depends on where I'm going, but still a long time to spend picking out an outfit, right? And through research done by Marks and Spencer's, we know that an average person spends 17 minutes in a day trying to pick out an outfit, okay, in the morning. That's 103 hours in a year. That's a lot of time you just spending trying to pick out an outfit. And that's not even considering the time you spend trying to pick out an outfit for an event or a dinner or just hanging out with friends. And if we really think about it, that's some time we can really cut out from our lives. And also stating a quote by Steve Jobs where he says, "I'm trying to pare down decisions. I don't want to make decisions about what I'm eating or wearing because I have too many other decisions to make." So that's what we at Pocket Wardrobe are trying to do.
Sure that all of you can agree that 103 hours spent in just a year on picking an outfit is a huge waste of not only time, but also energy. Many a times this delays people who have to be at important meetings or any event for that matter. For this, we've crafted an app that makes it easier for the user to pick an outfit. After inputting just the weather and the place where you are going, the app crafts the most suitable outfit for you. This app doesn't just make outfit picking more efficient, it also keeps users updated on the latest trends and exclusive styles.
Now, before we get into our business module or revenue, everything, let's just take you through what our app is, how it is. So this would be our starting image. Okay, that's our logo. And we would have a sign up and a login. Once you press sign up, you'd get this page where you put in your name, your email ID, your password. We also have 2 options for gender and body type. So gender could be a female or a male, or we're also considering like bhedham, like someone who considers themselves as both genders. So the AI understands what kind of style the person would like. We also have a body type, which then also allows the AI to put the outfit into that mannequin of that body type. Then this is actually our original screen. So once you've signed up and everything's happened, you come on this screen when you originally open the app. So you have 2 buttons, then you get My Closet and you get Shop Exclusive. When you press Shop Exclusive, you get exclusive content from major brands and just different brands, and it's early releases from their collections. But when you press My Closet, you come to this screen, which is basically you having to take a picture of your clothes and stuff like that. So our app can store that. Then this is the screen you come to after everything is done. And that's where your clothes will be. You can see all of your clothes. And then you type in what event you're going towards. So our AI can especially give you a numerous amount of options and you can pick what you want. So once you pick what you want, after a few, maybe 10 tries around, our AI should be able to understand what kind of style you like, so we can make personalized style options for you. In the settings page, you put your location so the AI can understand the different weather at that place. You can change your body type, your account settings, different payment methods because you're going to buy those clothes, your address and your password. And the chat room gives you a chat feature for if you want any customer service help.
We target both men and women from all around the world. Our app targets customers who want to go with the trend but have time trouble thinking of what to wear each day. It also targets teenagers from age 13 to 19 who are fond of fashion, latest fashion trends. Customers from age 20 onwards have trouble picking outfits that are suitable for them, and fashion influence too. We also target age group from 20 onwards, people who couldn't find the right outfit and have skipped going out often due to it. Over to Lavanya.
What is our unique selling proposition? Our app provides a 360 view of the outfit so that the back designs of the cloth are taken into consideration and AI can come up with the best possible outfits for you. There's a location and theme option, which helps AI figure out the weather of your location and the event you're going, how formal or informal it is, to come up with the right outfit for the right event and time. While using the app, the AI understands your style and gives you outfits under your preference and reduces time. We also provide exclusive content from brands like H&M, like clothing designs which are yet to come in the market, and newsletters about latest fashion trends, so that our consumers are the first ones to know about this information. Divya, you're in mute.
Sorry. Recognize. Okay, so when it comes to competitors, we have the Smart Closet app, which allows you to create digital version of your wardrobe and find outfits based on latest trends and your inspiration. Whereas our app, Pocket Wardrobe, informs people about the latest trends and create outfits based on preferences and weather conditions at your place. The Smart Closet app costs $3 for its subscription. On the other hand, our app, it's free and it does not charge anything, any cost for even any service. So on the other hand, we also noticed that the Smart Closet app also does not provide the back design of the clothing. However, our app, Pocket Wardrobe, provides overall view of the outfit, including the design at the back of the outfit. Over to Lavanya.
Marketing. How will we reach our customers? Pocket Wardrobe's target audience is the teenagers. Hence, we will promote our products in social medias like Instagram, YouTube, where we have active users of this demographic. It will be done through advertisements, daily content from us on our company's social media, like a teaser video or an intro to our app. And we will also hire some influencers who will promote our product on their platforms. We'll also advertise it in newspapers and fashion magazines by getting a featured article written about our company. Our consumers can also find us through a Google search in App Stores and Google Play.
So since the application is for free, you might be wondering from where the revenue would come. Well, Pocket Wardrobe's main revenue stream will come from partnerships with brands that will allow customers to try on outfits from those brands on the app. Among the features, there will be a selection for users to try on outfits from partner brands and even purchase them. We will be charging a royalty, which is a percentage of the sales made through our app. Another source of revenue would be the subscription plan to premium mode, where the customers will get exclusive information about the partnered brands and what they will be releasing in the future. The users will have the chance to try on the upcoming outfits of the brand.
So keeping our business objective in mind, we would like to follow a certain business milestones over the first 3 years of our business. Our initial goal would be to reach out to the influencers and decision makers, such as celebrities for endorsements, the users themselves, as well as the people funding them for the Pocket Wardrobe. The first quarter would focus on creating a prototype of the app along with the final business plan. This would be followed by approaching to the funding companies or investors. The second quarter would activate our marketing plan along with the launching of the app. Our aim is to achieve around 100 users a day for the third quarter, and following a more aggressive and marketing sales plan by the end of the second year, we would like to target at least 5,000 users a day. And by the end of the third year, we should be able to touch 50,000 users a day by the help of our funders to improvise our app and updates with newer features.
So before we leave you, we would just like to introduce ourselves and tell you a little bit, maybe a fun fact about ourselves. So my name is Pranya. I currently live in Mumbai, and a fun fact about myself is that I know how to play the flute.
Hi, I'm Divya. I'm from Kanpur and I study in Methodist High School. I'm in grade 11th and I love to play piano and I'm passionate about my goals.
Hi, my name is Lavanya. I'm from Nepal. I am studying in a boarding school in Dehradun, Hope Town Girls School, and I really love to do art, especially painting.
Hey everyone, my name is Neil. I'm from New Delhi and I'm studying in class 11 at Amity International School, Pushpihar. I'm an analytical person who enjoys solving puzzles and challenging my brain.
Hi,
My
my name
name
is
is
Ivan.
Maria. I study in 8th grade in the Sri Ram School at Ravli in Gurgaon. And a fun fact about me is that I know how to play the piano.
Hi guys, my name is Ivan and I'm from Mumbai, from JBCN school, and I'm heavily into sports.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pocket Wardrobe, for a beautiful and very passionate presentation. Over to Shoki for some comments.
I like the concept because this has been a problem. I've seen this problem. I face this problem myself, and my girlfriend too. So whenever we have to go out, I take maybe 5 minutes, and there's this 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe 40 sometimes. So I hear you completely. The concept is really nice. I like that. I think I just want to comment on the business model, which is the revenue stream that you guys looked at. I think subscription format could have been better. And this is my personal opinion, looking at brands that we've serviced over the period of last 10, 15 years. I think what happens is when you keep it simple, you're able to scale. When you keep it complicated, you after a point you pivot on something and try finding a comfortable space for your business. I think one of the reasons why your competitor chose to put a subscription out there for $3-4 is precisely that reason, because you would rather want to focus on building a great product, associating with the right kind of brands. Second, I mean, it's a confusion. I wanted to get some clarity from you guys. Is it the wardrobe that I already have, or is it the new one that you are suggesting? I think this is something which I did not catch it. So yeah.
No, it's the wardrobe you currently have. It's not a new one. It's
Not
that
the
you make outfits out of your current wardrobe.
So you basically click a photograph and put it on your app. Yeah, is that?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay. Who's going to be wearing that wardrobe? Like who's going to be clicking that picture? Where are you? Who's wearing that? If you are basically is for you, who's going to be wearing that and clicking the photograph and so that you can upload it? Or is it a mannequin that you're choosing? Or I mean that.
Just take a picture of your outfit. That doesn't need to be somebody wearing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a very interesting piece, I guess. I think it was when you were able to really click picture of your wardrobe, you know what you were handy with, especially when it comes to girls, because they have so much. And every time they would, they open their wardrobe and say, I don't have anything to wear for this one. Right. So I think it's a very, very interesting problem you guys you picked up, and a very interesting solution. So all in all, I loved the presentation, guys. And I think design was fantastic. Thank you for putting that effort.
Thank you, Shoki. Moving on from the world of fashion, now we're going to move to the world of languages now. So it's to our team number 7, El Convo. Over to you guys.
Good evening, everybody. We present to you El Convo. The roots of El Convo include El in convo. El meaning the in Spanish, and convo being short for conversation, overall meaning the conversation. So the problem that we faced is that even after spending a significant amount of time and money, language learners frequently face the issue of being unable to speak the language that they are studying. What they lack is not enough vocabulary words or grammar rules. Rather, it is the act of actually speaking it. Research shows that the fastest way to learn a language is to actually speak it and really immerse yourself in the language. But it is often challenging and expensive to do these things if you don't live in a country that speaks that language. When we saw this huge but unnoticed problem, we came up with the solution of Convo. Convo is a software or app that basically converses with you in a language that you want to become fluent in. It holds a normal conversation with you at the level you understand, but also occasionally tries to challenge you. It replicates a native speaker by crunching a huge amount of data of actual conversations.
What makes us really unique is we focus extensively in active learning. Active learning is where the learner is actually engaged in the learning rather than just passively participating. Research shows that this is the best way to learn a language more in depth in a significantly less amount of time. Some people feel nervous talking to people in person as they feel judged for speaking in broken language. We eliminate this problem by making the conversation with an AI so our user will feel more comfortable and actually can focus in learning. You can speak to our software whenever you like and however long you want to talk, making sure you can make the most of your time and money. Our software also prompts you when you mispronounce something or say something wrong. It holds the conversation, trying to incorporate your weakest part in order to provide the user with the most improvement. We have a subscription-based model rather than just money per hour, which makes us more cost efficient for the user. We use data crunching and AI to create a realistic conversation by analyzing real-life conversation of real native speakers, which makes our software even more relevant to the user. As you can see in this graph, Convo provides the most ratio of high value and low cost. As you can see in the left-hand side, FluentU, iTalk, and Amazing Talker are some of the apps or services that provide some amount of active learning, though they don't provide anything which enables the speaker to actually converse, making it less efficient in actually teaching them the language. And as you can see in the lower right-hand side, the more popular apps named as Duolingo, Lingodeer, Rosetta Stone, and Speaker, they use a gamified learning and quiz model, which makes a user memorize vocab words and grammar rules, but not actually being able to converse with a native speaker when the time comes. That's why Convo comes in, because it actually focuses on the area that the user will most probably be in, speaking.
The target market for Convo will be typically students from grade 6 to 12, which is typically 10 to 17 years old, who opt for a second or third language. The product will also be useful for people after college or maybe during college when they want to settle in a different country and they may want to learn the language of the country they are moving to. We will also be targeting schools and universities to make the learning better of a third language, a second language for students much better. Marketing of Convo, the product, will be through different segments. One will be Google Ads, wherein people who will be often searching for language courses or studying abroad or applying for jobs abroad will see our course, popping up at different areas. Sponsoring influencers could be people teaching languages on YouTube. For example, if there is a YouTube channel in which a person teaches Spanish, so we would approach them and tell them to promote a product which can help the learners or viewers of that particular YouTube channel understand the language much better. Reaching out to schools and universities will also be a way to market, as we will be hosting workshops for students in schools to understand the product and for the school itself to understand if it is beneficial for students. If the school doesn't opt for the product, the students can get directly in touch with us.
So this is a prototype of our software on a mobile gadget. The first page, we have an option of learning either Spanish or French, since those are the two languages we will be focusing on currently. Our software will be providing users with the A2 and B2 level of these languages. Users have an option to take a language test to assess their level of comprehension of the language. So like the software knows what level they're on and it can help them accordingly. If the users feel confident in their level, they can just skip the language test and move on. Furthermore, on the test, the software will ask the user a few questions and they have to give a response to it. If they can't answer it, they have an option of pressing I don't understand. So the software can explain it in simpler words or explain the question in depth. So like for next time when they're practicing, they can get it right. Also, if they answer it incorrectly, the software will correct them within a proper explanation. Next, if the user wants to have a conversation, they have two options. One is a normal conversation, like just how people communicate, saying hi, hello, how are you? Second is of choosing a scenario. Say you're at a party or you're at a restaurant. The app will teach you how to communicate with, say, the waiter or the guest at the party. Similarly, for the laptop prototype, we have a similar formatting, which is the language selection, the language test, the questions asked in the test, and the conversations option.
We will be generating revenue with this service by charging monthly and annual subscriptions. So for individual learners, monthly would be 1,600 plus GST, and yearly would be 12,999 for plus GST. And schools and universities, it would depend according to the number of users. So it will start from 1.5 lakh and above. And we will, the free version of the app will also generate revenue through ads. So I would like to introduce our team, Amara Jain, Tayodi Bhattacharya, Aryan Agarwal, Vibhu Vishuram, Arsha Garg, and Ganpati Reddy, who couldn't be here.
Okay, thank you so much, team Convo. We'll go on for some quick comments from Shoki once again.
Great space to be in, guys. I think this is Google also tries to do something similar, but I think it's super glitchy. You say something and you know they produce something else. So and there is no concept of grammar. I think they just don't consider that. I think this is something which you may want to pay attention to. I mean, overall, the gap is there in the market. The presentation was very, very seamless. I just want to comment on the marketing piece. I think you guys did a fantastic job in understanding where is the flow of your users. Google search will be the first intent of anybody who wants to understand that. And your top of the line was Google search. I think that makes a lot of sense. The second was actually getting sponsorship from, let's say, a Spanish teacher teaching Spanish. It makes a lot of sense because it's directly connected with your product. And the third was influencers. I'm sorry.
Schools and universities who may not offer the program, but students could get in touch directly.
Yes. So, I mean, if you look at marketing space, you've really looked at very combined market. So you're not spilling over. And I think that is extremely important when it comes to marketing, because in front of you, you have so many social media you could have chosen. But rather than picking that up, you looked at search intent, which is a very, very interesting, insightful thing. So great job overall, guys. Good luck with this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shoki. Over to our team 10, Candid Culture. Please go ahead.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible.
It is, Aditi. Thank you.
Yeah, hi everybody. Have you ever helped your parents design your house? Or have you ever thought of designing your own room either? Well, now you don't have to worry about it. We at Candid Culture have got you. So we, the students from Group 10, are here to present to you Candid Culture, the magic of traditional style.
The problem is that most countries have a very stereotypical opinion of the Indian culture and are not aware of our glorious traditions. In fact, most Indians themselves are influenced by the Western culture and do not realize the essence of their own heritage. This lies in farms and rural areas, which portray our culture in its right sense by providing us with natural and organic products. A lot of Indians don't have access to such authentic products due to lack of platforms that sell such products easily.
Our platform makes online shopping more available to small business owners, and no other service in the market offers the same benefits. Our target audience is people from the age of 25 to 40 who generally plan to purchase or rent their own houses and a passion to decorate. We offer minimal price ranges from various local vendors, and we charge around 5% commission between the seller and the customer. We connect a network of local Indian artisans and designers from various regions to provide them with a platform to sell their products. We bring out stories of cultures to people. We don't just sell products, we sell stories behind these products. Our website provides seller accounts to local vendors within various categories to sell their goods to the customers across national market. We provide design workshops to customers to help them get an insight into various products across diverse culture of rural India. We plan on to provide more services like repair and maintenance, complete house decorating, etc. Our plan for the next 6 months includes development of the app and launching Candid Culture in the international market to help Indian stories and journey of struggle to maintain their cultural belongings for centuries reach to masses across the globe. Being the tech head of the company, I'll be building the app and make the website very interactive and dynamic for the customers. Our basic structural prototype is ready and Aditi will show it to you now.
Yeah. Is the website visible?
Yes, it is, Aditi.
Yeah.
So this is a prototype of our website, and these are a few elements that we would like to include in the actual website. So when the user opens the website, the first few categories that they'll be looking at will be home, shop, read it, new collection, and contact. Whereas home, shop, new collection, and contact are very basic, but then the read it section basically talks about our local producers, craftsmen, and their backgrounds in order to improve trust between customers and the producers. And this is the, as of now, we've not included any products, but we make sure that when the user clicks on a certain product, we specify about the quality of the product and the history of the raw materials used, and also make sure that there's a tagline for each and every product to explain why it is the unique product. This is a simple about us section. And coming to the most interesting part of our website. So this is the video section, which will display the videos of our actual local craftsmen who are working on the products that we sell through our platform. So yeah, it displays the different techniques the craftsmen use and etc. And coming to the services section. So the first service that we provide is the graphic designer service. So often it happens, even though the customers buy few certain home decor items, they do not know how to position those products or how to style them properly in order to suit their spaces. So in this case, our graphic designer enters the situation and he'll be producing a graphic design, provided that our customers send a house plan or a picture of their houses. And then the installation service. And this is the contact us page. So here I would also like to emphasize on that we'll be mainly focusing on marketing through Facebook and Instagram, because we are focusing on 25 to 40-year-old age groups, and they commonly use Facebook and Instagram. Yeah.
What's unique about our brand is that we believe that our product is unique and comes with new concepts, as it presents our culture in its true sense, and at the same time provides the customer with aesthetic and quality centered products, which means that we would not only focus on the quantity of our products to grab the customer's attention, but maintain a balance and provide you with high quality products at a reasonable price range.
So as you all know, if we are going to start a new business, we require some funds. So first is a subsidy. First, as an option, we have subsidy. To get a funding, we can apply for a subsidy from the Indian government. As to our business, we will be uplifting the economy of India, as we will be more dependent upon the Indian sellers instead of the Western sellers. This would also give livelihood to many sellers of the unique Indian materials and provide employment to the citizens. Our second option can be cash. We can raise money by asking our friends and family, and even ask our parents for some money to invest in the business when there's a need of funds. Our third option is investment. We can present a clear business plan to venture capitalists or business angels to convince them to invest in our business.
So the revenue model. So these are few sources of our revenue. Ideally, we are promoting the local products through our platform. So we will be receiving income through as a percentage from the sales. And also, as I've previously mentioned, that we are doing our marketing through Facebook and Instagram. So we are not really paying an extensive amount of attention for marketing. So instead, we are focusing on personalized services for our customers itself, so that later they can go suggest our brands to their friends and family. As Kavish has already mentioned about subsidy, we are aiming for a subsidy grant. This would reduce our costs on a very large scale, which could minimize the amount of revenue that's going for the compensation of costs.
So there are four main competitors that we have researched and found. Like first is Indian Circus. Indian Circus seeks to create the sense of life in India and transcript this loud and colorful experience into a contemporary and sophisticated style. Second is Kulmohar. They take great pride in design and handcraftship of their products, and their in-house designers create time-honed designs from the fourth generations of furniture and sofa karigars who have even working for the royalty in Rajasthan. The third is Good Earth, and the fourth is Objectry. So as you have seen, like every one of our competitor is a little bit similar than what we are doing. But what makes us unique is that we are planning to sell products by collecting best quality materials from all over the India by traditional craftsmen, as we think they have more experience than anyone, as the process of best quality products have been passed down the generations, and that what makes our company special. All competitors are selling products by professional artists, but we focus upon the local craftsmen.
Okay, so I'm going to be talking about our target market. So our target market in terms of producers and providers will be local handy workers who make handmade Indian style home decor out of authentic Indian materials. Now, these items will be pots, ceramics, carpets, wall hangings, wallpaper, decor figurines, and more. These producers are people who know that their products are good and people will buy them, but they're not able to get access to these buyers. Now we will work with them with this network of providers to allow them to use our service as a platform to sell their goods. Next. Now our target market in terms of buyers. So we decided on the age range of 25 to 40-year-olds because that's the ideal age of people who can spend money on our business and appreciate it. These are mainly creative people such as interior designers, or it could be people who seek decor items for their new homes. Now they're going to be looking for Indian style home decor and we can help them in this. For now, our business is run on a website, so it'll be open for people all over India to access. Next. So here are some of our goals and growth strategies which we have come up with for the future. One can be making an app. Now, this would allow users to have better access to our service and it could help us expand. Another idea is to open pop-up stores in major cities such as Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Chennai. Then we thought of collaborating with other large-scale brands such as IKEA to possibly launch a collection of these Indian products. Now, this would help us increase our market substantially and would also grow popularity of our company. And lastly, we thought of the idea of going international. Now, this is possible if our brand is able to expand and grow so that we can take it to a global scale and provide shipping to other various countries. Next.
Now I would like to introduce our team. Aditi Ratakonda, who's of grade 11, finance manager. Atar Vaswani of grade 9, product manager. Navya of grade 10, creative head. Anisha of grade 11, marketing. Sauransh of grade 11, technical and operational department head. Kavish of grade 11, Finance Deputy Manager. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Candid Culture. Always love, artisanal work, especially focused on home decor. So I thought that was really, really interesting. Over to Shoki for some comments.
Someone said we don't sell products, we sell stories. Yeah.
Like I said that we don't just sell products, we sell stories.
Yeah, I mean that was a very, very interesting sense of your brand. I think when you say something, translate that into through and through experience of a story. You could have picked up now. See, these are points, guys, which will make a difference. Now we experience 8 different pitches. You said that we want to sell story. Create a story around your presentation. Talk about Ramu, who is sitting in somewhere in Punjab and making something, and we procured and we did that. What happens? See, when you look at, and especially when you're trying to build something, it is critical that whatever conversation you have with somebody who's sitting in front of you should have the surprise element, right? You should give them something which they haven't heard. Had I picked this up and you would have translated into a story, I would have immediately said, okay, they really live by the words they'd actually chosen to express how they want to, build the product. I think you could just work on the story part. Overall, I think the concept is definitely workable. Now, taking a cue from the last conversation that we had with the team who presented the similar thing. Again, if you're looking at mass market, I see that you are getting into the massy appeal of it. Yet you used Good Earth, which is a extremely not even premium. It's almost boundary line luxury, right? So there is a gap between when you pick your competitors. Always look at whom do you want to compete with from a price range. That is the first part. And the market cap. What is their market capitalization? How much area have they covered? Right? Do I want to get into their space? So I think you could there's an opportunity to understand that. And I've seen that a lot of people have actually talked about app. And this is my experience of managing businesses. I'm going to share it with you guys whenever you guys launch something, so that you keep in mind we're already in the world of wearables, guys. App. We started leaving our phones behind when the watch has cellular, capabilities. We have Oculus. We're talking about metaverse. We're talking about virtual reality. All these aspects. It's an experience. At the end of the day, if I want to buy something which is traditional, I want to experience the whole thing. Application adoption, first of all, someone needs to download it. And how many times will they use your product or your application to look at your product? There is a gap. So whenever you talk about app, try and consider what is there in the market, which is right now working. So you will be able to upgrade your thinking in terms of what should be on my value proposition for people, right? Pop-up shops was a great idea. Shop in shop with IKEA was also a brilliant idea. I think you guys worked very well on that part. These are my comments. But great job, guys. Fantastic work.
Thank you, Shoki. And that brings us to our last 2 projects for today. So thank you for your patience, for everyone who's staying on. And now our second last group, which is again on education. Over to you guys, EduClover. Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. We're Group 2 and we're delighted to be here. The name of our project is EduClover. Edu stands for education and clava is derived from the Latin word for club. So to sum it up, it means educational clubs. We're starting off with a website and wish to provide a virtual community that could act as a lifesaver for teenagers.
Some problems we believe our business can rectify are that every day students waste countless hours trying to research and find the right educational resources that will benefit them, the ones helping them improve and expand their knowledge on topics that interest them, rather than actually using that time to be productive and grow as an individual. Additionally, it was brought to our attention that teenagers do not have an appropriate medium to expand their knowledge in these fields and lack an exclusive community where they can talk to one another and learn from each other. Furthermore, we believe students do not always feel comfortable talking to adults. This is because they can't relate to them, and we just grew up in two different worlds.
Consumer research acts as a vital source for any business model. Therefore, we conducted a survey and the stats are as follows. So the first question that we asked was, as a teenager, who do you find more comfortable talking to? And 78.2% of the people voted people their age. Moving on, the next question was, do you want to expand your knowledge but are struggling to find the right platform? 80.44% of the people said yes. Do you find it difficult to find educational resources, for example, notes, past papers, etc. on the internet? 71.4% of the people said yes. Would you be willing to join a student club involving discussions in subjects you're interested in? And we found out that 87.5% of the people said yes.
So we decided that our target audience would be high schoolers, which are students from grades 9 to 12 who are focused and like-minded. Okay, so to resolve these problems, we came up with the idea to create a platform where students could expand their knowledge and interests in the form of student clubs. The website also acts as a medium where students could exchange educational resources, such as notes and past papers, and of course, communicate and learn better amongst themselves.
So here's a little summary of our business. We believe that teenagers communicate better amongst each other rather than with adults or experts. Keeping that in mind, we have created EduClover, a platform where like-minded students can come together to expand their knowledge and further their interests in the form of student clubs. We plan to integrate different clubs about varied subjects on the same platform for students who want to expand their knowledge in the fields of their interest beyond the traditional school curriculum. We plan to provide a platform for students who want to communicate with other like-minded students and increase their scope of learning. Students can come together and even share with each other their educational resources and study materials on different subjects. This ensures better communication and makes both research and studying more convenient.
Just like any other business, we too have many competitors. The most prominent of them include Clubhouse, which is an audio-based social media app. It is a new type of social product based on voice that allows people everywhere to talk, tell stories, develop ideas, and deepen friendships. It enables people to start a club or join one, host events, and grow their community. EduClover is different as it focuses mainly on teenagers as opposed to the entire demography. Moreover, we provide a much safer platform with curated educational topics for them to discuss and deliberate. Another one of our competitors is Toastmasters, which is an international non-profit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through a worldwide network of clubs. We at EduClover prove to be different from them as we aim to enhance students' knowledge in their field of interest and help them to become better learners.
Our unique selling proposition is that we're a club made for teenagers by teenagers. We offer a rigorous selection process, making sure we are a community of focused and driven students. A lot of such websites aren't extremely affordable, but we would like to give an opportunity to everyone by making our website feasible for all. We also provide IGCSE study materials at one place, making research and self-studying convenient and accessible.
Diving deep into our revenue stream, we have three major earning sources. First is the advertisement commission, under which we will launch ads of various brands on our website and will charge a commission from them. Second is the paid student clubs, where we will charge a certain amount of money from the students before giving them their club membership. We are going to start with a very small fee and then we will be increasing it month by month. The third is the commission from influencers who want to reach a large audience. Hereafter, hooking up thousands of students to the website, we are going to invite some influencers to take some sessions with the students. Moving towards our cost structure, we have to invest in three things to give our website a kickstart. Those are first, web domain, that is building and buying a domain for the website, Zoom premium subscription for providing a medium for the students and experts to interact on webinars and workshops. We are going to invite the experts once in a 2 week. The third is the cost for marketing our website and search engine optimization for improving our site to increase its visibility on searches.
Chief marketing channels will include social media like Instagram, since a large majority of teenagers use this platform on a daily basis. Other popular sites such as LinkedIn and Snapchat will also be used. We also plan to advertise our website on Google and YouTube at later stages once we start generating enough revenue. We will send out automated emails to school and talk to teachers and principals to reach out to more students. Word of mouth also constitutes a major part of our marketing strategy. We also plan to collaborate with influencers and popular educational YouTubers to endorse our website. We will try to invite a group of YouTubers to be special guests at our club meetings to try to reach out to their subscribers. Spotify has gained immense popularity in recent times, and we would use that platform for our advertisement as well as put out a podcast telling people about our website and its features. We will also have a feedback form where students can give their input and suggestions regarding our website, which will help us improve.
Some milestones we aim to accomplish as a business is to create a functional website and community within the next 2 months. Additionally, we would like to build on this website by introducing new features such as past papers, summer schools, and courses that help children expand on their knowledge and introduce them to new experiences. Finally, we believe it's important for us to host career counseling sessions by qualified career counselors who will help guide every student in this community in the right direction.
Our team consists of 7 members: Ananya, Sanvi, Srish, Vatsal, Shriya, Shaila, and I. This past week, we have put in a lot of time and effort into our project and are super motivated to be taking it forward post this program, as we believe that it'll make life a wonder. Together, we are better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, EduClover. That was really nice. Again, I love the concept of student clubs in general. And I'm so glad you're going to be spreading the word. Over to Shoki from some comments from him.
Great concept, guys. I think when you talk about bringing sort of a consolidated group or a cluster of people, I think that's where culture gets built. And if you focus on culture, businesses become very, very easy to be built in future. So I think the concept is beautiful. You're focusing on, you understood the pulse, and that is so true that 8th, 9th, 10th grader would love to talk to their similar age group people because they're more comfortable. They don't get judged because both are sailing the same ship. I had 2 comments actually. One is your paid model that you mentioned, that you I don't know if I've heard it correctly, that you're planning to increase month on month the subscription fee. I think that is a big no-no, because how will you have people retained at your platform? It's not about acquisition, guys. Acquisition is not that difficult. The retention of your students is the most important part of your business. So when you start running this kind of project, you will understand what I'm saying. Whenever you talk about business, it's 2-pronged approach. One is that you bring in newer customers and you satisfy your existing customers. And these 2 things go hand in hand. You cannot. The moment you say that we will be escalating our pricing every month, you will start losing your existing, and you will not be able to gain your new set of friends. So I think this is something which you could look into. As I mean, just a thought. When you already have Clubhouse, why would you not run a pilot, a prototype? You don't need an application; it's already been built. It's free of cost. It'll actually, whatever thoughts you guys have, it'll give you a very clear idea that whether this works or not. And if it works, you just need to translate. Hey guys, one announcement on Clubhouse. Hey, we have our own application. You will have, boom, immediately all those students will jump on, right? So, and you don't have any adoption problem because people have downloaded that application already existing in their phones. So you already cracked the model. You have the stage set for you guys. Launch it. Don't wait for it. I mean, it's a great experiment for you guys. It'll validate your concept. And once the concept is validated, technology is just a plug and play game. It'll be very easy for you to really immediately jump onto something interesting. Another point which was interesting was you guys did not include Facebook in your marketing piece. Any specific reason?
It's because we're targeting teenagers mostly, and teenagers don't use Facebook that often. Mostly they use Instagram and Snapchat.
I want to get clarity on this because we're trying to, we can't target on Facebook or Instagram. We can't target people below 18, right? So this is a great insight for a marketer like me that you guys just use Instagram and Snapchat. So that was a good point. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's all, guys. But Veer, Shreya, or Dave, I think you guys should not wait. Just launch it. Your numbers, your concept looks promising. Don't wait for an application. These are facades created by marketers that you need the X, Y, and Z, right? You just need to first find the concept, prove the concept. Once the concept is done, move on to developing your application. Good luck with this.
Thank you, Shoki, for those comments. And I think I did forget, I wanted to mention this one thing. Last time I remember Candid Culture when they brought in their thing, and one of the revenue streams was when you said cash, when you said in terms of borrowing from your friends and family. I hope after this business program, you learn that it's called bootstrapping. So next time, rather than putting cash as the element, definitely mention bootstrapping, right? When you are sort of not looking for outside funds, but you're sort of using your own funds or your family's funds, trying to make money. Trying to raise money as well. But on that note, EduClover, that was really amazing. As I said, I really believe in the power of student clubs, and to get them and to combine them will be great. Now, we come to our last presentation for today, and I really thank Shoki for staying long with us and giving his valuable feedback. Over to group number 5, HyGo, which is trying to create something in the world of hygiene. Really excited to see the last presentation, and over to you guys.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We are Group 5 here to represent our app HyGo. As we say, your hygiene, our priority. Health and go, so that's how we came up with the name. Starting with 1 in 10 due to poor self-hygiene in India, they die. I mean, for me, it was pretty shocking to think that, people just don't know about self-hygiene, or they just don't consider asking questions to the doctors because they're shy. So why did we choose to create HyGo? Mainly because there is lack of self-hygiene education. People forget how to take care of themselves due to their busy schedules. And also not to forget that during the pandemic, people were stuck in their homes, which pretty much messed their schedules. So our solution for the problem stated is that we decided to create an app. Next slide. Okay, we decided to create a digital help for teens who are majorly influenced by the digital world. The app will have very minimalistic theme, as teens now prefer it this way. The app provides reminders which will encourage them to maintain self-hygiene according to their schedule.
Our target audience are teenagers who basically find it busy to take care of themselves or are rather unable to do so because of their busy schedules. They lack the knowledge, or even sometimes people are too shy to ask the questions with their doctors. Since the Gen Z generation is mostly influenced by the digital world, we think it is a good step. And also, customers who don't have much knowledge about self hygiene are also our target audience.
Our competitors are Alibud, which is an app that makes you taking care of yourself every day through daily reminders. Instead of guilting you if you aren't doing well, they encourage you to celebrate even if they're small victories. Our second competitor is Journal. It is an app that shows how you've changed and accomplished stuff over time. Our third competitor is Brush DJ, which encourages teenagers to brush their teeth twice a day.
So I'll walk you down through this is the app design and the features of the app. So I'll just quickly walk you through how the app experience is going to be. So when you first download the app, you're going to have a login screen. You have the option to sign in using Google, Facebook, or Instagram, or you can register using any emails such as Yahoo, Hotmail, etc. So when you log in, you land on the home page. So on the home page, we have various icons and to make it aesthetically pleasing to the user, and we have used a black and white theme to make it to give Bhumika said, to have a minimalistic approach. So these are the sub pages. Moving on to the HyGo bot. This is our unique selling point of the app. So the HyGo bot is a chat bot that is going to answer all the queries of the user related to hygiene. It will search the database for articles and information provided by verified health organization and doctors. If the user is not satisfied with the result, then the user can start a chat room with our specialist on hygiene, and the user can have a one-on-one chat with them to solve their queries. It is a given that anonymity and privacy will be maintained while using the HyGo bot or while entering the chat rooms to further enhance the user experience and satisfaction. Moving on to the maintain hygiene subpage. So the maintain hygiene section of the app will act as a guide or an information packet. It will include the latest information regarding the activity that you selected and will show a step-by-step guide created by a specialist on the topic on how to maintain hygiene. The guide will be in the form of aesthetically pleasing animated videos, which would be around 3 to 4 minutes in time span, so that on the subconscious level, the information given is retained by the user and they're not bombarded by too much information. The guide will also be in the form of an article so that the users who like to read instead of watching the video are also catered. So this is also one of our main features, reminders. So the user will be given the option to toggle on one of the, all of them, the reminders. One of them is hygiene goals, hydration, meditation, exercise. So meditation and exercise is a future venture. We just included it to show how it will look like. The reminders, wait a minute. The reminders will be given to the user according to an automated algorithm pre-designed with the help of a specialist as to fix the schedules of our user, which is messed up. There will also be an option to manually change these preset reminders according to your preferences. Reminders in action. So this will be like your locked screen on iPhone. It looks like that it will have encouraging messages such as stay hydrated, it's time to drink some water, don't forget to brush, you should brush after every meal. So after you click on the notification, you will be moved on to a timer. So handing over to Priyanka, who will explain the timer.
So the timer, it would be a preset and it would be given and recommended by our specialists. For example, if the activity you're completing is brushing your teeth, then the timer would already be preset to 2 minutes. The activity would be marked completed when your timer is up. Next slide, please. This is a U page, and this page is to track all our hygiene goals so that
we see and finish everything by the end of the day. And there would be a chart to represent our complete data throughout the week. We have included this feature for an overall user-friendly experience, and also for users who don't want to read intricate data. The weekly newsletter and podcast is also another feature in our app. This is a feature we added to retain our users after they download the app. And the weekly newsletter will contain all tips and tricks as well, and also tell us the condition of hygiene in our country. Articles from journalists also, for example, on how to maintain hygiene on the go. Hygiene product reviews, which are a potential revenue stream through native advertisements. And for last, podcasts for users who prefer listening to news rather than reading. The last feature is feedback, and eventually this page will pop up to ask users for feedback, so that because feedback is important for us, so that we continue to update our app so that we retain our users. Over to Viren.
So digital marketing through social media and influencers, this is for the consumers, endorsing doctors to suggest patients about the app, placing ads in hospitals or schools as well, encouraging schools to use our app to teach the importance of hygiene, creating a public campaign to educate the public about hygiene, and endorsing our brand in the process. For companies that will advertise on our app, email, LinkedIn, public relations department, word of mouth, and PR department. So this is our revenue model. We basically use native advertising for revenue, where we will promote hygiene and healthcare products in our maintain hygiene section, and weekly newsletter product reviews and articles. We have premium subscriptions where we make some of the features like specialist chat room available for premium only, making the app an e-commerce where we are able to sell self-hygiene kits which contain products from various hygiene brands, and making a commission out of this. Creating the self-hygiene kits where we include our own hygiene products and make profits is also a part of the revenue model.
Over to Gia.
HyGo intends to keep teenagers who have questions about self-hygiene and helps them take care of themselves better. Our unique feature being the HyGo bot helps people ask their questions without any hesitation. We acquire the information from our doctors and forward. HyGo helps keep track of all their hygiene activities and makes it easy for them to perform all their tasks. Some of the milestones are: for the first year, we intend to have 50,000 users and develop our AI technology and make it as accurate as possible. For the third year, we plan on releasing our own kind of self-care kit and collaborate with other brands. For the fifth year, we intend to develop a HyGo bot and collaborate with influencers for the self-care kit.
Go to Siddhant.
Our team includes Bhumika, Priyanka, Avikam, Gia, and Viren. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Team HyGo. Again, really interesting concept, especially when you were showing your competitors in terms of DJ Brush and everything. Again, I know you're trying to tackle a lot, but for some more comments from Shoki on the last and final presentation for today. And I would also like Shoki to then end with some final comments that, as some sort of final words of wisdom that you would like to give to these young entrepreneurs. Over to you, Shoki.
Again, guys, the concept is really, really good. I think this is a very interesting space, because the moment you start to change a habit at a very early stage in life, you actually become more responsible, and it shapes the whole generation. I think it's the concept can stick very well, especially when it comes to the time that we have lived for the last 2 years. People are more conscious about maintaining personal hygiene. So I think it's It's the right time and the right product. I think this match is very important, because this is where a lot of people get confused. Like, when should I launch the product? When is the market ready? Am I too early or too late? Right. So this is when I say this is the right time, the right place, right product offering. I have when you said native advertising, I want to understand. Do you guys understand native advertising? Anybody who actually put this, could you explain what is native advertising?
Yeah, so basically, in the maintain hygiene section, which has guides, we could endorse products like use the Dettol hygiene sanitizer and like Head and Shoulders shampoo and stuff like that. And in the weekly newsletter, we could also do product reviews like for hygiene product and basically endorsing them in the process.
So when you say native advertising, it's a format of advertising, which is, I mean, here it's okay. We're still learning. Native advertising shouldn't be used without context. Now there are different forms of advertising. Native advertising are those advertising where when you are reading a blog and right below that you have these small boxes with how to let's say put a face mask, or how to choose your next travel plans, or blah blah blah, like this. It looks like it's a part of the website. So that's the reason the CTR, which is click-through rate, which is a marketing term, is higher on native ads. So when you understand the concept and you fit it into this piece, it's a great combination. Like I was blown away with the idea of that you guys actually thought of looking at native advertising, because this format, we're talking about really big brands, they also fail to understand native advertising. So I think you guys used that pretty wisely. This is something which can change in terms of your customer acquisition strategy. Rather than going for your normal performance ads, I think native advertisements are really, really effective. Overall, I think I love the whole concept. Again, guys, as I said to the previous one, the space is already there. The time is already there for you guys. So you don't have to wait a prototype. I mean, now you have, I don't know if you guys know about this, but this is something you guys can Google and get to know a little more. There is something called no code movement, where you don't need to code your website or your application. There are plenty of tools which are basically user interface driven tools. You log in and you pay nominal $3-4 a month. You will be able to really test your mobile application, what you're planning to do. And I think it has stickiness factor to it. That's the reason the usage will be more, because as and when you have certain questions that you're not able to ask, as you said, they're apprehensive. It's, to talk about it. That's the reason they need a little bit of anonymity. So that also covered a very, very thoughtful product, very well-structured approach. Fantastic job, guys. That's what I wanted to comment. Now, Rishi, to continuing just a few observations, and this is what I've seen where we all are moving now, guys. And this is to all of you. We've used this word called AI. Like we hear this AI. I really want you guys to understand AI. It's a very, very integral part of technology as we speak today. But it needs to be understood correctly to harness the power of AI. See, AI, when you say artificial intelligence, compare it with human intelligence. So human intelligence can read up to, let's say, 200, 300, 400, 500 lines of data, can comprehend that data and make sort of sense out of it. When that goes beyond your humans sort of analytical power, because it is heaps and heaps of data, we're talking about, let's say, 5 lakh different lines of data. And out of that, you have, let's say, 50 columns. Now, if I really have to make sense out of that, it's almost impossible for a human to actually look at 5 lakh lines and horizontally and vertically, and then you try and figure out how it's going to be, what does it mean. That is when you bring in an artificially created intelligence, which is also our intelligence to create that intelligence. So without us or without data, AI is just a programming format. Like you program any other software, like you build a website, or like you create any tech product, right? Or an application, right? So when you say AI, always remember that AI is of no use if you do not have data. Right. So whenever you talk about AI in your deck tomorrow, you are going to be pitching in front of your investors. Do not use word AI so loosely, because this is where I had the opportunity to talk to a lot of businesses, brands that I have invested in personally, and I've seen this gap that the moment someone says AI, and that is when I catch them, because I know exactly what they are trying to. It's a fad word, right? It's a created word which sounds very fancy. That's the reason people use it. But trust me, this works negative in your pitch deck when you talk about building anything to do with AI. So if you say AI, then talk about data. That this is where the AI will fetch the data, and we will be able to make sense out of that data. This is very, very critical. It'll help you guys build a sort of a very strong foundation in terms of technology. The world is moving towards that. Technology is your best friend. So when I say technology, it is not coding, guys. It is the understanding, the underlying thought that could be computed, right? That we don't have to do manually. We need machines to help us figure that out. So technology in a nutshell is going to be the driver of our future economies and startups like you guys. So I wish you all good luck. Thank you for your time and so much of effort that has gone inside. I think you guys just like every time it's so fascinating to meet young brains, supercharged, energetic people like you guys. It was an honor. Thank you so much, guys.
No, thank you, Shoki, for taking the time out really and giving such extensive, thoughtful comments to everyone. We thank you again for joining us, and for all of you. Thank you again for joining us on the live stream as well. We're just going to shut off the live stream, and we're going to quickly do our last sort of housekeeping rules for the entire team. Thank you so much once again, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, Shoki.